Good morning. I realize it's been a while since I made a video. I also realize a lot of you don't understand quite well how everything works in this planet. The way it all comes together. The way that you contribute to making one another, even if you don't know someone. You know, the biggest thing you could do is share myself, my words, what I say, what I show, what I speak. It would be a good feeling to know that 7 billion people know myself. Because that's roughly how many are supposed to know myself. But it's your belief, your uncertainty, is for the way that you view me in your own eyes. I hope you realize that. I'm not a bad person. I'm not evil. But I do know how things work in this planet. I do know how everyone that has ever come and gone and still is contributes to making you who you are today. Even though you may have never known them or you have never met someone. And that goes for anyone on the planet, myself included. The governments, the militaries, and the news media of the world are responsible for terrorism in a way that almost makes them terrorists themselves. How, you ask? Because they empower them. They make them famous. They talk about them all the time, and they show what goes on in this world to the public. They are responsible for making them famous. DVDs and books about them makes me wonder if they even pay them royalties. You know, the people in this world that you should be showing on the news media, you should be talking about, are the people in this world that are doing good for the world. Not the ones committing atrocities, slaughtering children and women, people foreign to their countries, journalists. The ones that you should be talking about are the ones that are trying to change the planet for the better. And they do this because they think that's what you, the general public, want to hear. And you, in turn, keep things going as well. You should be angry over things. And then you project it outwards towards others, amongst yourselves, and they in turn do so to even others. You know, the planet is round, or spherical for that reason. What comes around goes around. You are a contribution of everyone that has ever come and gone and still exists today. That is you, each and every one of you. You see where things are going? Do you actually look outward into the world past your own existence, your own lives, to see a bigger picture? I know for many of you it can be a very scary place to think about that. And yet you are part of it. It's your duty to think about that. It's your duty to think about how you can better it for others as well as yourselves. I hope you understand that. Because if you help better it for others, you are bettering it for yourselves as well. Not many look down the road too far, as long as life is great for them right now. What about your children or your children's children? What are they going to be left with 50 or 100 years from now? You have to think about that as well. You really do. You know, I myself am a compilation of everyone that has ever come and gone and still is. I am. And as long as there's war in this world and you can't get along with and hurt one another, in a sense, you are hurting myself as well. I hope you realize that. And it is the way that you believe, which is an uncertainty. And some of you believe with extreme prejudice that I am not the person that I am, but I assure you, I am. Because your views and your opinions of what I should have been are different from who I am. This is the way that you have contributed to making myself through your beliefs and the way you view things. You understand? I am my own person. You don't own me. No more than I own you. Nor do I want to own you. But I do want you to own yourself. Do not be owned by your beliefs. And know that you do have the power to change the future of this planet for the better. You just have to wake up. You really do. You know, only 2 people in this life ever physically harmed me. Ever physically harmed myself when I was younger. One had anger issues, and the other did it just because I was a new kid in school. Both of them ended up in accidents years later. Both of them are disabled. I didn't have anything to do with that. But that is why I say what comes around goes around. I want you to know that. Do not look down on others in this world. Do not project anger and hate towards others in this world. And do not compare yourself to others because you think you're better than them in this world. You understand? I hope that you do. And governments of the world, you can't even get it right amongst yourselves. You have no more right to be in control over people. You really don't. Unless you do get it right. Not amongst yourselves, but for the people that you speak for. It's not about you. It's about them. You want to end war? Because I have a feeling a lot of you don't. You would rather keep the spending going, all in the name of safety, homeland security, and defense. It's a shame that you don't realize that you are your own worst enemies. It really is. Terrorism wouldn't even exist today if it weren't for you or the news media. Could have nipped that bud a long time ago. But you would rather show them on TV for what they do and give yourselves a reason to do what you do. You would rather make them famous and empower them just so you have a reason to keep this going. And trust me, it is a war above your level that no weapons can touch. You better start thinking a little more spiritually. You really had.